Hello boys and girls, and welcome to our first lesson for this week. Today is obviously going to be Monday the 5th of March 2021, and today's lesson is going to be about nouns. Now remember, when we're speaking about English, there are many different rules, and a lot of the ways that we understand how to use the rules is by understanding what type of words we are working with. Okay, so we've worked before last month and we did many verbs, and if you remember, verbs are the things that we can do. They are our action words in English. So an action word shows me, again, something we can do, like a swim, or a run, or a jump, or a throw, or a catch. Alright, there are physical things that we actually do. Now nouns, on the other hand, we have done these before, and if you remember, teacher was trying to help you to think about nouns as the things that we can see and the things that we can touch. Real life physical things. It's not an action that we do, it's something that is. Alright, now if we think about it a bit deeper, nouns are what we call naming words. These are the words that give names to things. Alright, and when we speak about nouns, there's always going to be 4 types. Alright, at least until like grade 6 where you'll learn a little bit more. But for now in K3 and grade 1, all you need to know is these 4. So make sure you learn them very well, because these are very important things in grade 1, and if you do not know them, you can have a very big time struggling to understand them. So let's talk about what nouns are, or what types of nouns we'll come across in our lessons. Okay, so let's talk about them. Let's look at the red headings. Practice with teacher. Teacher will say the word first and you second. Let's begin. People. People. One more time. People. Okay, one person like me, or many people. Okay, this is what we use for human beings. Alright, people like teacher David, like his friend Bob. Even if you think about people's jobs, like a fireman, or a doctor, or a teacher. These are all different types of people that we can see in our everyday lives. Okay, and when we see people, we know we were talking about a noun. So when we're reading in a sentence, if we see the name or we see an occupation like fireman or doctor, then we know how to make the sentences correctly. But we're going to worry about that more in grade 1. For now, let's just learn the fundamentals of what a noun is. So let's keep going. The second thing, let's practice again. Places. 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 One more time, a little bit faster. Places. One place, many places. Remember last week we were talking about singular and plural nouns, and that'll help us again to understand what we do to the nouns in our sentences. That's why teacher added the S. One place, many places. Boys and girls, I'm using plurals for all of these because I'm not speaking about one person. I'm not talking about one place. I'm talking about everything. So every single job, every single person falls under the people category. Every single place. Let's talk about places. Things like schools, things like your home, where do you live? We can go to the market, we can go to the shops, or we can, if we're sick, we go to the hospital. If you can think of any place that you can go to, that will fall under this category. And it's not just these ones, it's all of them. Alright, let's keep going. Now this is the easier part. Animals. We're not going to practice this word. Boys and girls, you know animals. Things like dogs, cats, an emu, bird, or even fish. All of the animals on the planet fall under this category. So people, places, animals. Again, these are all physical things that we can possibly see, or the things that we can touch. Okay, people, places, animals. The last category, things, this is for everything else. Everything. If it's not a human, if it's not a building or a place, or it's not an animal, then it has to be a thing. These are usually inanimate objects and they're not alive. Otherwise, they fall under the animals or people category. Okay, bugs are animals too. Spiders and ants, they still live here. Things, like I said, these are things that are not alive. They're immovable objects unless we move them. Like a pencil that we write with, an eraser that we use if we make a mistake, car, well, we see many cars everywhere, a chair for you to sit on, or even something as precious as gold. Okay, we've done all of these words before. There's nothing new here, boys and girls. What we need to start understanding is how we can use the words that we've learned and then fit them into these 4 headings. So let me get my eraser quickly. In our book, we come across a whole bunch of different things. So let me see if I can show you some pictures. Do you remember this guy? One mouse, many mice. Remember, mice is the plural for mouse. So if we see one, it's mouse. If we see 2, it's mice. Let's have a quick look at the other ones. Let's go a bit faster. Fountain. Remember fountain near the mountain? Easy. You know this one. Boat. Very good. What about this guy? It's very cold. We like it if it's hot. Ice. Very good. Let's keep going. And the last ones we have, we'll go even faster because we have many. You know this guy? Igloo. What about this one, where all the farmers work and keep their things? A barn. Very good. What's the next one going to be? It's an A blank E word. Where do bears live? In a cave. All right. If you have a really big tree, think about where you can put your house. It's a tree house. Nice. If we get lost in the forest, we call it the woods. Very good. Where do the king and the queen live? Castle. Very nice. And our last one is a type of tent. A teepee. Okay, so that's quite simple, boys and girls. So let's talk about the first one. Mice, no problem. Is that a thing, person, a place? Of course, it's an animal. So we're going to be focusing on the words that we've learned today and then be able to put them into these different categories. The next 3 we have is a fountain, a boat, and ice. These are all things. Fountain, boat, and ice. Very good. Let's look at the last ones. I'm not going to write them all. We had igloo, barn, cave, woods. Igloo, barn, cave, woods, and one more, let's put castle. Alright, these are all the places that we speak about in our books, and it's all things or places that we can go to. I can go into an igloo, I can go into a barn, a cave, I can get lost in the woods, Or if I'm really lucky, one day I'll see a castle. The only thing that we don't have a picture for, and I hope you remember from the book, and the guy's name was Robin Hood. If you remember the story the teacher played you last week, Robin Hood is a story about a guy who lives in the woods. And he is feeling bad about all his friends and family who are very poor and have no food. So he steals from the greedy rich people to give to the needy poor people. Alright, don't worry too much about the story, but if you remember, Hood rhymes with wood. And he's definitely a person that is in our story. So remember, one person, many people. One place, many places. One animal, many animals. One thing, many things. Every single noun, boys and girls, except really for names, we'll be able to change into plurals, just like we did last week by adding s. Igloos, barns, caves. As we get deeper into English, we'll learn that some words will actually change when we go from singular to plural. One mouse, many mice. But that's not really our worry for today. So focus really on when we think about a word, is it talking about a person? Is it talking about a place? Is it talking about an animal? Or is it talking about a thing? And that's all we want you to do for today. So let's get ready for our worksheets. I hope you're ready, boys and girls. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!